Hello, my name is Dennis Smith. I retired from the Glendale Police Department as a traffic sergeant in 2011 after 32 years of service. I investigated or supervised the investigation of thousands of injury and fatal traffic collisions. I administered traffic safety grants and supervised sobriety checkpoints, saturation patrols, and targeted enforcement operations. As a traffic sergeant, I authored traffic safety grants that were funded in the amount of approximately $1 million. I worked on a committee that was successful in obtaining over $1 million in safe routes to school funding. I've worked for UC Berkeley since 2012 as a traffic safety evaluator. I've participated in traffic safety assessments in numerous cities, counties, and tribal lands throughout California. What is Tribal TIMS? I'm going to give you a webinar about Tribal TIMS, what it is, what it will do for you and your tribe. Tribal TIMS is mainly meant to enhance traffic safety in and around tribal lands. Many traffic collisions on or near tribal lands go unreported. Accurate investigation, reporting, and documentation of traffic collisions is essential to improve traffic safety near tribal lands. Oftentimes, available grant funding for traffic safety enhancements is awarded based upon traffic collision data. Tribes that have insufficient traffic collision crash data are disadvantaged when competing for available grant funding. SafeTREC has created a tool to assist tribes in the collection, retrieval, and analysis of traffic collision data. This tool is called Tribal TIMS. What is Tribal TIMS? In partnership with the National Indian Justice Center, NIJC, SafeTREC's Tribal TIMS provides tribes with access to a password-protected, online, interactive crash mapping and analysis tool for tribal areas. The tool uses publicly available CHP SWITRS data to map crashes. To date, approximately 30 tribes have used the tool to explore traffic collision patterns on or near their tribal lands. SWITRS. The California Highway Patrol maintains a traffic collision database called the Statewide Integrated Traffic Record System, also known as SWITRS. Law enforcement agencies from around the state forward traffic collision reports which occur on California state highways and other roadways to the California Highway Patrol. The aforementioned reports are then entered into the SWITRS database. How to obtain a Tribal TIMS account. Representatives of tribes may request an online account from SafeTREC. The account is password protected to ensure proper privacy and security. The tool allows users to access tribal collision crash data contained within SWITRS. The database generates a map of the tribal boundaries and plots individual collisions on the map. The database also allows users to analyze the crash data and establish potential hazards, patterns, and trends. And how to access Tribal TIMS. What you would do is go to this website listed at the top here, and you would put in your email and your user password. And then once that is done, you will be directed to another site, which is right here. And on the left side of the map, you have a plus arrow, you have a minus arrow, which will either enlarge or shrink the map down to size. You have a select date range up at the top. In this instance, it defaults to January 1st, 2008 to December 31st, 2019. You can change the parameters of that if you'd like. Then what you do is you'd select your tribe. And from here, we will select the tribe Blue Lake, which is in Humboldt County. You can then select the collisions you're looking for, whether it's on the actual tribal lands where there's no buffer, or you can select a 1 mile, 2 mile, 3 mile, 4 mile, or 5 mile buffer. We will select a 3 mile buffer. And I will select all injury levels, or you can select fatal only or fatal and severe. We will go with all injury levels. And I will hit get results. From here, if you look at the other side of your screen, it will give you 131 collisions that were found. Then it lists the particulars about the tribe. It is in Humboldt County. It says the population is 40 residents, the square miles, the road miles. They have a tribal police department, a tribal court, a tribal fire department, and so forth. At the bottom, it lists the victims of the traffic collisions, and it also breaks it down into pedestrian victims. It said there was one, a bicycle victim, there was one, motorcycle victims, 3, and so forth. And if I would like to go into it further, I can increase the size of my map. And I will select this collision right here. I see that this occurred on September 7th, 2014 at 11:40 a.m. at Fickle Road and Boynton Prairie Road. And this was a collision that resulted in a vehicle pedestrian collision. A pedestrian was injured in this. If I select details of this collision, it brings up another screen where it will give me other characteristics about this collision. And this brings up more particulars about the collision. It also brings up another map of where it occurred, as well as a Google Street View of where it occurred. And going back to the screen that has the actual map of the collisions within the 3-mile buffer, I can get some further analysis on this. I can change the style of the map. If I'd like, I go to base maps at the top. I can select a satellite view, a hybrid view, a topography view. I can change the canvas of it. I can do a terrain view. I can do an open street map. And I will revert back to the default map, which is streets. I can also do the style. I can increase the size of the symbols for the collision or decrease them. The transparency, I can change that as well. I can change the type of collisions due to severity. You can see the one in red is fatal. There's a yellow one that's severe injury. There's a green one that's other visible injury. And the blue ones are complaint of pain injuries. I can also go to tools and I can select different characteristics about the collisions, including collision variables. With collision variables, I can look at the type of collision. I can see that 82 of those 131 were vehicles that hit an object. 21 were overturned vehicles. 8 were rear end. 7 were head-on, 6 were broadside, 4 were sideswipe, 2 were vehicle pedestrian, and 1 was other. I can also look at collision severity. 57 of them were complaint of pain, 56 were other visible injury, 12 were severe injury, and 6 were fatal. I can look at the collisions by day of week. I see that Saturday, that's when most of the collisions happen, 25 on Saturday, and so forth. I can also look at the time of day when the collisions happen. I see that the majority of them occurred between 4 and 5 p.m., and it breaks it down into other times of day. I can see the collisions involved, what the vehicles were involved with. In this particular instance, 83 were involved with a fixed object, 20 another motor vehicle, and so forth. And I can also look at PCF violation, which is primary collision factor. And I see that 49 of those 131 involved improper turning and so forth. It breaks it down into different categories. I can also look at the trends, the injury trends, and I can see that there's a yearly trend, 2008, 2009. It looks like 2008 it had the most collisions. There was 2018 where there was only 5 for the whole year. I can also break it down by month. It appears that October had the most collisions of any other month. I can also print these charts out as well. There's different formats to printing these out. You can include those in on a personal report or what have you. I can also get the information on a comma separated value table in Excel. If you do that, you can download it, and then it is saved on your computer. I've now opened a new window with Excel in it, and I can look at all of these collisions, and it breaks it down into other details that aren't included in that original thing that I showed you. It also has the coordinates here, the XY coordinates, if you wanted to do it via GPS and plot them out, you could do that as well. So if you had some further analysis you wanted to do, you could do that with Excel. For additional information, you may contact the SafeTREC website, which is listed on the screen. There's also contact information at the bottom for employees of SafeTREC. Thank you.